The long wait is over. Banished is here. Oh my god. Aren't we all excited? Now, why aren't you playing? You should be going playing instead of watching me. But hey, I'm going to try and make this pretty darned interesting. This map is a really great map, I think. I'm calling this the Isle of Skye because we've actually started on an island, as you will see in a minute. I'll put the details in the video description if you want to play along and you want the map seed. We're on valleys, large, climate fair, disasters are on, and we're starting on hard. And trust me, hard is actually pretty hard. When you start on an island, it's insanely hard. Let's get going. Okay, so here we are, and as you can see, this is completely surrounded by rivers, which is, if we don't get off here very, very quickly, that's kind of a death sentence. Now, normally, the only things that you're worried about is getting through your first winter. And you need three things to get through your first winter. You need homes, because if people can't go to a home to get warm, they freeze to death. You need firewood to heat the homes, because if they can't get warm, they freeze to death. And you need food. If they can't eat, they starve to death. Those are the only three things you're worried about at the beginning of the game to get through your first winter. So we need to set up 4 homes for our people to live in. We need to set up a woodcutter to cut the wood, and we need some kind of food source, which here is not kind of the easiest thing in the world, because normally the best thing to set up is a gatherer, a gatherer's hut in a nice big wooded area, and they'll produce tons of food. Fishermen aren't so great, to be absolutely honest with you. I think they're really not so great. The other thing is like a hunter's hut, or what is it, hunter's hut or hunter's lodge? I can never remember. It's a hunter's, that's past you. It's a hunter's cabin, hunting cabin. There you go. Which will also produce leather, but hunters are probably like second best to gatherers. But in this situation, oh man, this is really, really difficult, because on top of the things that we have to do, we've also got to build a bridge to get us across here. If we don't get over here soon, then it's gonna be all over. So, you know, I think that's where we're actually gonna start. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start off by popping a bridge over here, which is expensive. It's like 60 logs just to build that silly bridge, but we kind of need to do it. I'm gonna cancel that. I'm gonna come down. I think I'm gonna come down this way. Yeah, because I want us to have access to the gatherers hut, and it's cheaper crossing there. It's only 48 logs. Okay. When you're putting down your storage, try and put your storage as close to where you're actually going to use the materials as possible. And since we're building this bridge down here, I'm going to put in some storage down here, and I'm going to put in like a 4x4 stockpile down there. And let's start cutting some trees down, and I'm just going to remove everything from this area, and off we go. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Now, one tip I'll give you is, like, don't start cranking this up to ×5 ×10 too quickly, because you will run out of time so fast. And don't go cutting down like massive swathes, and try and do it as close to where you're working as possible. You really do not have a lot of time to get everything built to get through your first winter. It's tough. I mean, it is not the easiest thing in the world. And when you're starting in a place like this, man, it's really hard. Now, we're going to get to know the villagers. But at this point in time, we don't have time. We just need to like get on with like once we've got our houses built and we've got some food coming in and we've got firewood and everybody's surviving, then we'll get to know people. But right now they're busy working and just trying to survive, so they don't want us bothering them. Okay, right, here's our stockpile, and we're starting to bring some stuff in, which is great. And hopefully we're going to start building this bridge. But in order to do that, we need some builders. So let's get our UI set up. So let's have that up there. We'll have our event log down in this corner. And then I think we'll have the map up, because this being a big map, this will kind of help you to see where we are and what's going on. And I'll talk more about the map later. I think this is a really great map, actually. I recommend it. It's like this is a really tough start. Trust me, this is not easy. But if you can survive the first winter, get the stuff built that you need to build, then it's an awesome map to build on. And I'm going for 1,000 population. That's the target. I want to do. I want a seriously big town going on here, and I'm going to be employing I think pretty different strategies to those that you may have seen in other Let's Plays. I'm going to be doing some forest nodes, and I'll talk more about that in detail later. But I'm going to be spreading out over this map and setting up, little hamlets, let's call them, tiny little villages, like all over the map, before I go for like a really big town. Like most people sort of like start in one place and they kind of build that up and sort of expand outwards from that. But I'm going to be going all over the place, which I think is going to be kind of interesting to see how to do that. Okay, so things are going quite well. Let's crank up a couple of builders, so maybe we can actually start getting this bridge built. We've got all the stuff we need, we just need the labour to actually build it. So where are our builders? Oh, they're off to get their lunch. It's lunchtime, which is pretty impressive because they only seem to eat about every month or two. So I think they're pretty disciplined people, I'm quite impressed by that. It's like, oh, it's February, it's time to eat. Okay, now I am going to speed this up a little bit, because literally all they've got to do is gather some stuff and build this. But see, I already need to designate a bit more of this. Now one thing that I'm going to need like a lot of is stone, because I'm actually going to go for stone buildings. And see, these people are already idling because I haven't given them anything to do, so let's get them collecting this stone from over here and this stone from up here. Now I'm going to go for a firewood economy, and I'll talk about the firewood economy much more as we get into this. But one of the things that's a huge advantage is if you build stone houses rather than wooden houses. Now that's great as long as you can actually get through your first winter. If you build stone houses and you manage to survive through your first winter, then you're going to be in really great shape. But if you don't manage to do it, then your village is dead. So there's kind of it's a little bit of a risky strategy, but if you can make it work, then it's actually pretty cool. Right, now we've got our bridge built. While they finish off doing some more stone, we can hopefully get something going over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a forestry node over here, because this is lots of trees to start off with, although we will be planting more. There's lots of good resources, iron and stone and stuff, and plenty of room. And you want maximum usable area. So you don't want hills and rivers. Some of the Let's Players, their placement of buildings is just like, oh my god. Yeah, how we doing? Yeah, that's almost full, so we need to get these guys going. I'm actually gonna pause this while I plan out my little node down here. Now, what we want to put in is ultimately 4 buildings, but we're going to start off with 2. And the first one is the Forester's Lodge. And I'm going to pop my Forester's Lodge in just about there. Okay? And then opposite that, I'm going to put in a Gatherer's Hut. Gatherers are like so overpowered, it's kind of untrue. They produce more food than anything in the early game. And yeah, well, I wanted that side, don't I? Where's that? That's there. And one thing that you will want to do is put in a little stockpile down here. And but you're like, maybe not even so little, to be honest. So where's there? And I'm going to put in like a I'm going to put in a 4x5 stockpile just down there. Okay. Now the Forester's Lodge I'm actually going to put on pause because the only thing that I need right now is the food source. So all I want is the Gatherer. I'm going to put in a road if I can. Yeah. Now, will you hook up? Let's put that across there and up to the bridge. Great. Okay. So I'm going to have the Gatherer down there. I'm going to put some houses up here. And this is the risky bit because I'm going to build stone houses. And, phew, man. That is a bit of a risk, I've got to say. So, because, like I said, if this works, I'm going to be in really great shape. If it doesn't work, oh man, am I going to be screwed. Okay, there's my 4 houses that I need to house my 4 families that I've started with. I'm going to extend this road here and I'm going to put in another little stockpile just behind them. Just like a 4x4. Yeah, there. Okay. Now, ideally you don't want to build too many buildings in this area because you want as much usable area as possible for the productivity. Okay, let's pick up anything usable in the close area, and then I want any stone from around here. Pick up a little bit of that over there, and critically I will need some iron, so we'll have that iron as well. Okay, let's get these guys going then. Now the other building that we are going to need to build, and this is something that it's a kind of a bit of a pain, to be honest, is we're going to have to put in a storage barn down here so that the food from the Gatherer can go to this barn rather than having to be taken over to this cart all the time. So I think we're going to put that in. Yeah, I think we're going to put that in like now. And I'm going to put the storage barn in. Yeah, it's going to have to go. It's going to have to go over here. There's kind of nowhere else to put it. Okay, now that's a lot of stuff that they've got to collect and build. And we're already late spring. We've got the summer and autumn. Which, you know, you think of the seasons as being a long time, but in this game, man, you know, they're really, really not. So this is now a race against time to get these buildings built. And there's one more thing that we still need to build, and that is a woodcutter, which is also, like, critical. Now, I'm trying to figure out where on earth to put my woodcutter, and I'm seriously thinking about putting him up here next to this stockpile, which would, you know, be a good thing. So what do I think? Woodcutter. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably not a bad idea. Over there somewhere. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to pop him in there. Right, now that, I think... Okay, gatherer for food, woodcutter, houses... Right, if we get all of these things built... And the storage barn, which is there. If we get all of these things built, we survive. If we don't, we die. And it's already early summer. Man, we've got a lot of work to do. Well, let's crank it up, because it's now just a case of letting these guys build. And I'm actually going to assign a third builder. And indeed a fourth builder, because as soon as anything's ready to build, I want it built. The builders, if there's nothing to build, will act as labourers. So there's kind of no downside to assigning a bunch of builders at this point. Once we start assigning our professions, it will be a bit different, because then we'll want to allocate them, and we won't want too many builders. But at this stage, the more builders the better, really. Oh man, I am so nervous about this, because this is such a risky strategy, going for the stone houses, because collecting stone takes a fair old amount of time. We have got enough stone, pretty much, and we've got more marked for collection, which is, like, good. It's now summer. This is gonna be pretty close. Now, as soon as we get the storage barn built, we can actually get rid of the cart. Now, normally, see, if I was starting in a place that wasn't a stupid island, I would use the cart for a very long time. But because we're being forced to move away, it's kind of important that we get this thing built ASAP and get rid of this cart, because our people are having to go over here all the time, and it's a bit of a darned nuisance, to be absolutely honest with you. And that can be kind of the difference between, like, making it and not making it. And you know, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause these 3 houses. Oh man, it's already early autumn. Now the gatherer's hut is getting built. That's almost done, which is great news. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a little bit of time before I assign somebody to that. I really want this storage barn built. Having that storage barn close to the gatherer makes a huge amount of difference. Trust me on that one. Come on, guys. really need them to get going on this. It's autumn. I'm leaving the food production like really late. I think I'm going to have to assign a gatherer. Take the builders down to 2. Oh. Come on guys, get moving. We've got plenty of materials. It's just a case of them actually just getting on with it and getting this stuff cleared and built. Let's make absolutely sure there's nothing impeding the way. Come on guys, start delivering stuff. See, they've still not cleared this area. Ooh, first snow. It's late autumn now. I'm gonna have to unpause the houses because this is not good, guys. This is really, really not good. They've been working on the woodcutter, which is great because we do need the woodcutter, and we can get him cutting our firewood. But without our houses, psh, this is going to be nip and tuck as to whether we survive or die.